Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks, the podcast where we solve your first world problems. We take them, we receive them, we take a screenshot of them, we put them into a Microsoft Publisher presentation, print them out, laminate them.
Publisher?
Yeah.
Wow. Not even PowerPoint. This is Publisher.
Yeah, Publisher, like you do at school.
Yeah.
With the word art thing, the wiggly blue one.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I was always a big one for the one that looked like it was going into a desert scene.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the one?
Yeah.
Laminate it.
Yeah.
Because that's important.
Yeah.
You had to be in a real position of trust at school
And
to be able to use the
finality
laminator.
I was never allowed to use the laminator.
Guillotine the pieces up,
Oh.
put them into a word pile. You ever heard about this? Like, I can't remember what the psychological technique is. You put them into jumble all the letters up, and you look at all the words, and then you get a feeling for what it is, and then solve that problem.
Oh.
So the meta problem of all the problems that we get.
Yes.
Right.
I'm Dan.
I'm Dom.
I'm Ross.
And we're going to start this week with some mail that we have.
Speaking of which, James is watching. Hello, boys, he says.
Hello, James.
Hello, James.
Well, if soon as James is watching, I shall read the piece of Dan mail first. It does come with a little problem, which I think we can solve pretty fast as well. He says, mightily impressed with the news at Sticks, boys. I genuinely thought Ross's idea for the eye toaster to be inspired, closely followed by the eye toilet. On the subject of Apple, though, I do have one genuine problem. Last week, I had a stupid amount of music painstakingly downloaded from CDs onto my PC, then synced with my iPhone, as you do. This week, without touching my phone or plugging it in, it's managed to delete all but my purchased tracks, which means I'm down to listening to Swede Mason's MasterChef track on a loop. It's that or the free U2 album. What a serious fuck, Apple. Has this happened to any of you boys?
No, we know how to use the stuff, so it doesn't happen to us.
Yeah,
it has
it's the
happened.
21st century.
It has happened, but there's a couple of clicks and it's all back, isn't it?
Why are you ripping your CDs?
Yeah. What's
Are they
that all
ready
about?
for burning?
Yeah.
Are we going to have a CD burning party?
You know, I had to burn some CDs about a year ago when I bought my new car before I put the stereo
I did
in.
the same thing in mine recently as well.
Yeah.
Burn some CDs off.
But the thing is, I just burnt, which I don't know why I never did it in my old car. I just burned the MP3 CDs. I burnt like 700 tracks.
Mine didn't play MP3 CDs.
Oh, shit.
Mine was old school.
Yeah,
Right.
I burnt like 700 tracks onto 4 discs, and then it was just pot luck, whatever I put in.
Good luck finding anything on it.
Oh, I just got like a random playlist, like my top rated playlist. It's about 800 tracks, and I just burnt that. So I knew it was all going to be music that I pretty sure I'm going to like.
James says he's old school.
He's old school.
Yeah, he's old school or old.
Well, I think you should probably trade in the iPhone for a Walkman then.
That's it, yeah.
Or maybe even, what was the thing that Microsoft did when the iPod came out and it failed miserably?
Oh, what was it called?
Zune?
Was it Zune?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's their current. That's the.
Fuck, what was it called? I remember what you meant. I remember it though.
I can't remember what it was called.
It was like sort of the iPod Classic.
It did not do well.
And it came out. It was like a sort of bubblier, more 90s looking iPod.
Yep, I remember exactly what it looks
I
like.
had one because my parents wouldn't get me an iPod.
Zune, apparently.
It was a Zune.
Ali Donaldson says Zune.
It was Zune.
Yeah.
Because that's because I had a Windows phone recently, biggest mistake I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And they used.
Did it blow up?
They used no.
That's Android. Sorry.
That's definitely Samsung. And the software they use is Zune.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
I was
So
quite
that is still a thing.
So sorry. No.
That is still a thing then. Zune is still going. But
But as a piece of software
yeah.
that has very few podcasts on it, actually.
Yeah.
I was quite an early adopter of the MP3 player. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'd never really heard of one, but a friend of ours, a family friend of ours, used to buy things from like police auctions.
Yep.
When people got done for like.
Can you still do
imported
that?
Stuff. Yeah.
I think we should do like a family outing to
We
a police
totally
auction.
should. We should.
Like a live
God.
stream. I don't know if we'd be able to though, like live stream a police auction.
No, I don't think so.
Or record at a police auction.
But they got about 6 or 7 of these MP3 players. I mean, at the time, it was like, I think it had like 32 or 64 megabytes of memory.
You couldn't get loads on
You
them.
could fit like 7 or 8 songs on it.
Yeah.
But it was this little square thing about this size. It was surprisingly small for the. I mean, it was about sort of 2/3 of an inch thick, but it was. I remember taking it into school and everyone just being amazed. And they were like, "Well, where do you put the music in there?" I'm like, "It's inside the MP3 player.
Yeah.
It's in there." Like it
It's
was just
already in.
amazing. Like, but the transfer, like the data transfer, it was like it would take like half an hour to upload these like 8 songs.
God, could you imagine that now? It's so
Yeah.
quick now. My favorite thing I ever had, I had a Panasonic. I had the big chunky Sony mini disc player.
Yeah.
The
I
big
had one
chunky
of
one
those,
with
yeah.
the slide-in battery in the side. But I also had a Panasonic one, which was just a little bit bigger than a mini disc itself. And that took a really small, almost like the size of a chewing gum battery in the side of it.
Right, okay.
And then you could screw on a AA on the side if it ran out of
Oh, wow.
batteries.
Screw in.
You could screw on the side of it this little extra battery. So if that little,
Wow.
because the battery inside lasted about 10 hours.
It's a bit like remember
crazy
Game
for its
Boy,
time.
all the accessories you could get for the Game Boy, like the battery.
I had the Game Gear, so I had the screw-on battery pack on the back.
because you needed it because the Game Gear had terrible battery life.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
But anyway,
A bit later on, as an alternative to getting an iPod, I got one of those creative ones. You remember those? Like
I had one of those as well.
like
Yeah,
the big silver thing.
yeah.
That was the fucking tits. And do you know what?
They were fucking durable as fuck.
There
as
was
well.
a song I was talking about with Maddie, my girlfriend, the other day, and I thought, where the hell has that song gone? And I found that thing in my drawer, and I found the plug for it. I plugged it in, and it's all still there.
Really?
It's
Fucking
retained
hell.
all the memory. It all still works. I could like
That's flash memory for you.
I mean,
then.
like the playlist, the song, the music choice on there is very much 10 years out of date.
It's like a little time capsule.
Yeah,
Can't
it-
expect that to fucking
but it
catch
is
up.
like looking at my sort of go-to playlist.
Yeah.
It was so funny seeing like the kind of stuff on there. What was I listening to when I was 18 years old?
Amazing.
But
I think
yeah.
the first MP3 I had was an iPod Classic. I think that was the first MP3 player I had.
I think I had a Zune.
Ooh.
I had a Zune. Then I had that creative one. Then I got one of the Sony Walkmans. I always rated those.
Oh no,
quite
I had
highly.
the Walkman phone first. The one that had the memory stick
oh
in
yeah,
the side.
Yeah,
the little
yeah,
orange
yeah.
one.
Yeah. My one was the slide up one.
Yeah.
It had that. It was
Nice.
all branded Walkman
Yeah.
and stuff, and you could put your headphones in the side of it, and because it had the writing, like the track information on it. So my
Nice.
Panasonic one did as well. The little remote control had the writing of the name of the track on it.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I have had the same iPod technically since I was about probably for at least it was probably about 10 years ago that I got it. But I got one for Christmas, brand new, and like I wanted the 160 gigabyte one.
That's the one I've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to put movies on it. I wanted to put all my music on there. I've got shitloads of music. I just wanted to have it to be all singable. I wanted it to be future proof because I was like, it ain't gonna get better than this.
Nothing gets better than this.
And,
Have we learned our lesson yet about that? I don't think I have. I still think things aren't going to get better.
But the thing is, I still love that iPod. It still works
Mine's in my car out there now.
perfectly.
It's in
but,
the car.
But the thing is that I that one I used to use on a dock next to my bed that so it would wake me up in the morning. And
Yeah.
I think the dock had some connectivity. It was only a cheap dock.
Yeah.
So every now and again, it would just
Fucking
die.
iPod docks.
It would just die. So you'd turn the iPod on, it would just go.
Because it's got a full-on hard drive in it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can hear it going.
I took it to these guys near a town nearby, near Whitstable. And they're the only official.
Oh, I remember that.
Apple
That
authorized.
was such a coup for you. They're the only Apple authorized repair agent in the area.
Well, yeah. Well, the fucking thing is, the nearest one is 50 miles up the road
What, Blue Water?
at Blue Water.
Yeah.
It's actually 45.
Or 45 miles up the road at Blue Water. And
Don
the thing
resets
is,
his odometer.
you can't get these things fixed
I do.
unless it's through an official thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it voids all warranty.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to. It was just a bit of a coincidence that it was 5 miles up the road. That's why I went on about it, because I was like, just in case you need to get anything fucking fixed, go to them. Because
I didn't have any Apple stuff at the time.
No. But I went up there and they were like, yeah, it's quite a common issue, but they don't replace it. You have to replace the hard drive in it, which is like 150 quid. But if we put it in as a battery issue, these iPods have battery issues, like 35 quid, and they'll just send you a new one.
They just
So I
do the
gave-
swap thing.
just
that they
gave
always
it to
do.
them.
Yeah.
They sent me a new one. About a year later, same thing happened. So I went back and went, oh, just to let you know, like, this is what you did last time. I went, yeah, that's fine. Sent me back the next gen one.
Oh.
Right, then that one fucked up. It's basically the same thing. I went back and said, "Oh, this time, last time you guys did this for me. did it again. So I've had like 5 fucking iPods out of them.
My one in my car, the thing I like the best about the Classic that I don't have on this phone is the music quiz, where it used to quiz you about your music. It used to play you a little bit of your music and give you a choice.
Yeah.
It was like A, B, C, or D. You had to pick which one it was. I used to love that game.
That's why Ross has only got 4 tracks on his iPod. He just loves winning
They're all
that game.
Evanescence, all right. Mark
back,
Thornton agrees with us. He says iPod Classics are the best. I still use mine to this day.
Yeah.
Every time we get one in at work, it is instantly snapped up. We have people that come in all the time. I work in a shop where we do take in second-hand technology. Every time we get one in, there are a group of people that are always running
How much
around.
do you offer for them?
I can't remember exactly.
Oh.
Well, they're a bit of a rarity now.
They are. When you get one in,
because it's lived in my car. It's
yeah,
whole life.
mine is as well. Yeah.
when you get one in, there's always someone willing to buy it.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Well, a couple of years
People
ago,
look out for them.
because they've what's the word? Stop making it.
Discontinued
it now, haven't they?
Mhm.
They don't make that anymore, which is annoying because if I do want to get another iPod, that the most they do is like 32,
They
64?
do 256 now, don't
Oh,
they?
do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
for
it's actually
iPod Touch.
bigger.
But the thing is,
The first time, it's actually bigger than that. Because that's
Right,
160,
okay.
wasn't it? I mean, this
Yeah.
is only 128. So
the thing is, though, right? I would never need an MP3 player now.
no,
MP3 player
this
because I've
is-
got my phone.
I use this for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've got iMatch, Apple Match, like you've got,
Yeah.
and I've got Apple Music.
I was
as
just
well.
offered 3 months free of Apple Music from Apple.
Do it. It's good.
Yeah, no, I signed up instantly. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, well, why not?
Well, I spend more than £10 a month on music, so I figured I'll just do
I
that.
don't ever buy music, but
I buy music all the time, but I thought I'd just go with that instead. And
I might have
it's
to the dark
better.
side. We've
Yeah.
got Spotify family.
Yeah.
oh, nice.
Yeah, between us, so that I've got, because you get you and 5 other people on the Spotify account.
That's pretty good.
It's £15 a month. So
Well,
now,
that's well good to share between like
so
5.
so
Yeah.
now I've got Spotify. Maddie's got Spotify. My mum, my dad have got Spotify, and Maddie's mum and dad have all got Spotify. It's amazing that we all live in the same house.
It's amazing, yeah.
You wouldn't think
Yes.
you could fit 6 people
You
in
can
a
get
house.
the friends and family thing on Apple Music as well.
Can you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can set up family sharing.
Nice.
Family sharing.
Last bit. Sent from my fucking taking the piss iPhone.
Oh, because you always take the piss out of something from my iPhone.
I think it's because his iPhone's taking the piss out of him.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't know how to use it. Because he's an iPod Classic man who rips CDs.
We have
you.
Go back to the 90s.
Is faggot.
So do we have a Dom plate, Dom? Or
We do have a Dom
Or
plate.
are we just going to get one?
Well, I think we're going to get another one, but this is a Dom plaint from guess who? James Hemming. So it reads, Dom, in the news at Sticks, you appeared to quote Hal from 2001 A Space Odyssey, yet used the name Michael instead of Dave. Was this a mistake, or was that a Kit impression from Knight Rider? If so, it was pretty damn good, William Daniels. We'll be working on something special for you boys in the week. Sent from my iPhone. Who's William Daniels?
I'm assuming it's the voice of Kit.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, it's sort
Did
of-
you just cross the two in your mind together?
I crossed the two in my mind together, so I was supposed to be
made
going,
one.
I can't let you do that, Dave.
Yeah.
But I said Michael.
I'd like to see the crossover.
What, between Knight Rider?
Knight Rider: A Space Odyssey.
So it's just David Hasselhoff flying through space in Kit.
It's just
I know, he could be in the car, but
Well,
the
the whole-
car's
yeah,
turning against
I
him.
was going to say the whole thing is set in the car. Like,
Oh.
he's in the back seat, he's in the front seat, sometimes he's in the boot.
That's a whole bottle episode
Open the
right
boot.
there.
Open the boot, Kit. I can't do that, Michael. But that's where my golf clubs are.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Michael. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a Dom plaint. Thoroughly plainted.
Do you have an erection, Ross?
I do have an erection. Can,
What?
You, not, can
Why?
you not see the table moving? I have an erection, but I have a correction erection
Oh!
from the pretty much the author of last week's episode, Lucas. He says socks are the perfect idea.
Oh!
I digress. You asked for a correction erection. We did ask for one.
Yeah.
On what?
Who keeps asking for these corrections?
Was it me?
I think so.
What was it a correction on?
It is in the last news it sticks, discussing which of the celebrities went out with on dates with members of the public. Dom described Omega as the end and the beginning, and in fact, omega is the last letter in the Greek alphabet.
But it also is the beginning and the end. It's the first letter and the last letter in the Greek alphabet.
It says, I think he got confused with alpha and omega, the beginning and the end.
No, omega is actually the first and last.
I think we should get a pool of mud and let you two fight it out.
No, I think so
He
too.
says, nitpicking, I know, but you ask and you shall receive. Lucas Razan Frazan out.
We should put them in a pool of mud, and there will be... So one of them will be the omega, and the other will be the omega in the competition, according to Dom. And all the ones in the middle omega as well. The whole Greek alphabet is just omega.
Oh, fuck off. Right.
Is it like a voxel omega?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, it's not in your wheelhouse, buddy.
Sorry.
Has James replied?
No. Robert Burgess says, Jim the anus strikes again. I presume he's talking about
Right.
Yeah.
Jim the anus strikes
Jim the
again.
anus, yeah. That's all I can... Let you guys fight it out in the comment section.
I think we've actually found the name of the episode. Jim the anus
Jim
strikes.
the anus strikes again.
Yeah, you two fight it out in the comment section. Leave us out of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just his completely unrelated title for our Knight Rider 2001 Space Odyssey
Is he naming
crossover.
it?
Jim the anus strikes again.
Open the sphincter, Hal.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Michael. Just as a big metal penis goes.
I must confess, I've only watched 2001: A Space Odyssey once, and I don't think I could ever watch it again. It's not that I didn't enjoy it; it's just that it's a bit much, isn't it? It's like a very rich Gateau.
What a great analogy for that film.
It's super tasty, but you can't do it more than once, really. You can't have more than one piece.
No.
So
it's like one of those chocolate millionaire cheesecakes.
Yeah,
you only have the tiniest sliver.
They're insanely good, but just one is enough. One is enough. And I don't think I can. I should watch it again because I think James was the last person to make me watch it, and that would have probably been 15 years ago.
Oh God, Ross. Jim the anus strikes again.
Yeah. You have such a beautiful outlook on the world, boss.
Everything can be compared with sugary treat.
That's a beautiful mind right there. Well, see, that's what. It's like a rich Gateau.
Okay.
We're still aiming for that bake-off job, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ready?
Set.
Bake.
Oh, I was supposed to do it at the same time. Yeah. Edie helped you. Right then.
Onwards
and upwards.
We have a problem.
The Linny returns. The bald marshal of the Mudder.
He comes back to give us his wisdom.
He's
fitness wisdom.
Sent us a beautiful picture. He always sends us pictures of himself covered in mud. I don't know if this is a fetish of his or...
Well, it's a fetish of mine.
Yeah.
Yes, I did request it.
I'm going to show
it's
the
developing
camera.
into one.
I have to piece it together because it's gone over 2 A4s. There we go. How's my patchwork? There we go.
So let's go from behind.
Sexy man.
Looks like he's just gone through mud. He's still got a GoPro on his head, but yeah, he's already finished his beer.
Managed not to spill his beer the whole way through, though.
Well, I don't know if he has. I mean, if that was full when he started, he hasn't done very well.
Point,
it's kind of empty now. Or either that, or he's probably fucking thirsty.
Or he's downed 5 more pints on the way.
Yeah, that might be number 2.
Like all the people drinking those isotonic energy drinks like throughout the marathon, and people were just handing him pints.
Tipping him over his head.
Yeah. Smells all hoppy at the end.
He says, big issue this week, boys. Getting really fucked up. There's a lot of profanities.
Is it 50p?
There's a lot of profanity in this, so maybe not for the children, this one.
I don't think this entire podcast
Unlike the rest of the podcast, which is totally...
You know, from last week's talking about a major businesswoman in the country squirting to all sorts of other shenanigans.
Only just got that out of the carpet, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and out of your clothes. Got the stank out.
They'll never air that episode of Dragon's Den.
I don't think so. I'm surprised we haven't had the letter from the solicitors yet. I imagine hers are pretty good.
With regards to the profanity, do you think we should be ceasing the live stream until after the watershed? Like, we just can't swear until
I don't think the
it's
watershed
9
applies
o'clock.
on the internet, does it?
No,
because you can look at pornography at any time of the day.
This is just one step above or down.
Well, that's the motto that I live by. But I do find
Always drink after midday and porn anytime.
I prefer my porn immediately after lunch.
It helps me to digest. Some people like a swift constitutional, but I
immediately
just like a good
after
wank.
lunch. You mean like in the way that you would eat a really rich Gateau?
And then knock one out.
I'll eat a really rich Gateau, then knock one out.
Give
us the old
commenting
shifty.
it up. He says, I'm getting really fucked off when some twatty company rings you up. When you answer the phone, they say jack shit and then hang up. We've all had it. So you block the number. You got it. You get another call. What does that you got it mean? But
And you got it.
right, you got it. You get another call, different day, and it's the same bastards as before. What should we do with these pieces of shit off your shoes? And he also says, by the way, boys, did my latest run on Saturday, Survival of the Fittest, and we're running it around as a zombie on the 29th for a laugh. Sent from my Sony Xperia smartphone.
Ooh.
The first one of those we've had.
Heresy. Right.
Is Sony a Windows phone or is it Android?
No, Sony's Android.
No.
So
I wouldn't know about these things. It's not in my world.
I cannot believe that we haven't had someone write in about these already, because
Because I get them as well.
like about a year ago, I just had a constant stream of these companies, not just the ones that hang up. Because I think they're more like probing calls, aren't they? I think those ones call to see if the line is open, like if you're going to answer the phone,
And then someone rings
you back the next day.
Yeah.
It's just like a never-ending thing. I have reduced the amount that I have by doing a few things. One, I signed up to the online thingy database.
Yeah, I've done that because then if they ring up, you can just lay that on them and they go, oh.
Yeah, not that they give a shit about that. And two, I have an app called Truecaller.
Yeah.
Which is like a hive mind database thing. So if you get one of the calls, you report it into Truecaller, and it does it by area. Because obviously, like, if you ever got one of the phone calls through that seems to be from the same area code as you,
yeah,
and you're like,
yeah,
oh, it can't be some crank.
Yeah, it can't be a prank caller, no.
And then it ends up being, the same PPI or whatever. So it pulls them all together for sort of like areas and stuff like that, and that's helped to reduce it a lot as well. And you also feel a little bit better when you do get one through, and then you report it.
Yeah, you're doing your bit.
It's a bit like Waze then, but for
Yes, a little bit like that.
Yeah.
It's reduced it down to I maybe get one every couple of weeks. My advice for dealing with them.
You know what? I don't get any anymore. I put myself on that register and I don't get anything.
Yeah, it's only very infrequently now that I get one. But what I was doing is that when they call up and, my favourite one is they're like, the accident you've been in, I would just go with it, and I'd be like, and I used to just like go,
Just waste their time.
Well, no, I had this whole story like I ended up having. I was like, oh right, okay.
Well, they think they're going to make millions.
And
out of you.
and then they sort of go like, you have been in an accident, right? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, right. I thought we had it all sorted out, like after like the court date and stuff like that. Is it the family that have like, tried to pursue this
you're
again?
making out like it's you being sued.
And then they're like, oh, no, like, can you just describe the accident? And I'm like, well, I'd had a bit to drink and blah 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 blah. And I go on, and like it ends up being this whole story that like I've accidentally killed this entire family.
oh
and,
my
like,
god,
and then I'm like, so do you think, have I got a case then? Because I mean, that would really help me with the financial costs if you think I've got something to claim back from this. And then they're like,
Amazing.
do you think they guessed halfway through?
Usually they don't. Usually they ask a lot of questions, and then I just pile it on, and then they say, and they get really like appalled, and they're like, "You were drunk," and I'm like, "Well, it wasn't drink. I thought because everyone says
Just a drink, it was the heroin.
Well, no, I'm like, no, what I
It
always
was the crispy Kringle.
what I always said was like, well, has anyone
Just
ever?
shut my eyes for a minute.
I used to say like, has anyone, have you ever been out and been had a big night, and then someone says to you that the best way to sober up is to take cocaine? Well, I thought that would do it.
That is good.
That's amazing. That's one way.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's.
You probably get put on the big green list there every time you wind them up. There, like, call this cunt.
Yeah. This is the thing. Let's just see if it sticks. So I've got a contraption.
Oh, okay.
I've got a contraption. So it will require retrofit of every phone globally.
Yeah.
To include a small taser.
That was exactly what I was
Right.
thinking about sending voltage.
Haven't
down the
we
line.
already created a cow phone with?
It was a cat phone with
with taser claws that moves.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But this is a different one. That was a
How could
completely.
you forget that, Dan? It's so easy.
That was
to
a
remember.
completely different kettle of fish.
What was that for?
I can't remember.
I don't remember having fish on it as well.
Or a kettle?
We should
can-
put a kettle on it though.
Yeah.
You could do that too.
Make you a cup of tea while you're waiting on the line.
Yeah.
While you're telling elaborate stories.
Elaborate stories about cocaine and drug binges. And a certain amount of infractions of nuisance calling, it would require an entire government body as well to oversee it.
Oh, right, okay.
Because
Bit-
obviously
bit of
peop-
that taxpayer money.
Like you report people for nuisance calls,
Yeah.
and after a certain amount of time and also investigation into the situation, so there's not just like people playing pranks on each other, every time that person tries to cold call someone, they receive a large dosage, non-lethal, of voltage, but enough to dissuade them from the situation in the future.
I like it. I think,
Hello, madam. There's a virus in your... Fried. Well, not fried, it's non-lethal. So...
Oh, right, yeah. Unless they have a pacemaker and then they're dead.
Maybe you could use the same sort of database as the app that I have, and if they go over a certain threshold of reports, then it just immediately starts to tase them when they make the phone call, when they go to make the phone calls.
I like the idea of having a bit of vigilante justice. So the same thing, you should use your database of people who gather together, but every now and again it sends you out a post telling you to ring that number. So you ring that number and give them shit.
Yeah.
And then you can have hundreds of people ringing them on one particular day, completely disrupt their business for a whole day.
Well, like a denial of service attack.
Yeah.
So basically like an old school DDoS.
Mm.
Yeah.
If I knew what that was, I would agree.
So that's when people like say there's like a website like Facebook,
Yeah.
and then like basically like hackers have these scripts where it will make out like so many people are trying to log in all at the same time.
When you load a
and it shuts down the
website and you send a message to the server to get a response from the server.
Yeah.
Essentially, what it does is it just spams the servers with messages, and it just overloads it because obviously, if you sort of fake that amount of requests,
Yeah.
then it can't handle. I mean, Facebook is probably one of the only examples in the world that it doesn't necessarily. It would
did it,
be
though. They
difficult
did
to
it
work
recently.
to do it. Yeah,
Did
but
I
like,
get
Didn't get it. No.
it?
but yeah, if you had something slightly smaller,
Yeah.
if you wanted to take down whatever.
They do it quite a lot with online games.
Yeah.
So for instance, World of Warcraft recently received one and you couldn't log on for like fucking 4 hours.
Oh, no.
Dom actually had a shower and a shave.
Don went outside and took a stroll.
I took a swift constitution.
But I just think, like,
then
if,
knocked one
if
out.
you- each one of you... So each person over...
You do that while you're playing. Amateur.
Did you not have time for a Gateau?
No,
Oh.
but I felt like I was eating a rich ghetto.
Could you... Hello. That wasn't me. So if everybody that's
That
ever
was the
been...
klaxon telling us that joke had been used too
Yes,
much.
it's fine. Fine it. Yeah. So everybody that's ever been cold called by this company that goes, oh, you might be getting PPI, you might be viable for PPI and stuff. So everybody they've called over the year, on one day of the year, all of those people can have a designated time that they have to ring up and ring this one number and like try and just cram that call center out for a whole day.
I think the problem for me is actually trying to encourage people to do it. Isn't it?
Unless there's got to be a reward, isn't there?
I tell you what would be a good idea if you're going to start to legislate it, because the thing is, there is legislation around cold calling, but a lot of these companies just ignore it, or they put their call centers overseas so that it doesn't apply to them.
Right.
I think maybe if it's something like reciprocal, so if you want to make cold calls to the UK, you have to, one, be registered, regardless of what country it is you're dialing from. One, be registered on a cold call database. Like, you have to have a profile on there to be allowed to do it. But it means that your data, your phone number and email address are released onto a website that publicly lists all of them, so that anyone can go on there and pick any person.
The problem with a lot of these phone numbers is their premium rate lines. So when you go to call them back,
What I mean is, say if you get a job in a PPI claim call center, right?
my dream.
Regardless of where it is, right? In order to actually take the job, you have to register with the International Database of Cold Callers, right? Your mobile phone number, your personal email address, and your address, all of your details.
Your wife's
right?
cup size.
It's all got to be properly verified, right?
You address on the left or right.
And then for you to be able to do it, it has to go on the database. And on your first day of work, it goes on to the International Cold Callers Database website, which lists all of the phone numbers.
This is
and
some
that.
sort of register?
Yeah. So, but lists it publicly. So anyone could pick any name on there or any email address and start to spam the fuck out of it. So you have to get what you're given.
Yeah, but they pick people at random. They're not getting justice for the people. He might work at a call centre, only make 2 calls. The rest of the time he's doing paperwork,
So he shouldn't
And
work for a fucking cold call centre, should he?
I guess. Just the risk you take, is it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because he might never get contacted. Alternatively, someone might pull off 100 names in that list and set up their own system that they're getting phone calls at all hours of the day and getting 30,000 emails every day, and it might fuck him. But that's the risk he has to take to be a cold caller.
I see a risk of escalation. So we'll just live in an anarchical world where the phone lines and all lines of communication are just held up with revenge call of revenge call of revenge call, and then the whole system collapses. Then we have to start talking to each other again.
There needs to be something, because every time I get one, they tell me which company they're from. I always write it down, and I write their name down as well. And then I try to Google them to see if I can see where their offices are. Because I think if it's somewhere near to somewhere I'm going, I'm just going to go into the office one day and ask for them by name and just go over there and just...
Take a nice steamy turd in their top drawer.
Yeah, or just overturn their desk or something. Tell them I'm going to wait outside for them in a fucking clown costume.
It's only a prank.
Have you heard about this new fad recently? Maybe we should do a little something about this.
Maybe we'll cover this in the news.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's got to be something. There's got to be some punishment for going to do that job. I understand everyone has to make a living, but what I'm saying is that, you know, if the thing is, just because something is there doesn't mean you should do it. Like, you know, if someone told you can make £500 a day being a rapist, you wouldn't go and do it because
it's a pretty good wage. I see no downsides for me.
Just because, yeah, if they made rape legal and said you could make £500 a day doing it, it wouldn't make it any more right.
No,
for you to do it just because it was legal. It would still be a wrong thing to do, and you shouldn't.
Just like cold calling.
And if you turn around to me and said, "I've got this new job. I'm a rapist
of the airwaves,"
right? Yeah, I am likening cold callers with fucking rapists.
I agree. Throw them in the same pit.
Phone rape.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it right just because you can do it.
No. Well, we know that not everything that is legal is good, and not everything that is illegal is bad.
Correct.
Yeah.
Such as
alcohol and Krispy Kringle.
Right there.
Yeah, for one.
Right there. Good. My only idea was tasers, unfortunately.
Zapping. I think a Sarlacc pit would be nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
some sort of gulag for. See, I envision like this sort of dystopian future we're creating now, and basically like these cold callers will be like little like sort of guerrilla cells. Like pirate cold call stations.
They're like Radio Caroline floating off at sea.
Or like hidden in some warehouse somewhere. And are
in a
sort
van
of,
that's constantly moving.
And are like sort of police force are going round, rounding them up and sending them to Siberia.
Oh, right, okay. I was about to say that they're sounding more and more like Jawas from Star Wars.
What's a goulash or goulash or whatever it was?
Gulag.
A gulag.
A gulag in...
meaty goulash.
Are you hungry tonight?
A goulash is sort of like a rich ghetto.
Cold callers are a bit like a goulash.
What's a gulag?
A gulag in Soviet Russia, there were forced labour prison camps in Siberia where political prisoners went.
Right. So nothing like a goulash.
That's a hot and spicy stew originating from Eastern Europe and Russia.
Oh.
Very tasty though.
The more you know.
I've had a goulash.
Have you?
Yeah. I do know what a goulash is. I just didn't know what a gulag was.
Why did you ask me what a goulash was then?
No, I was trying to say the word that sounded like, I couldn't remember what it was, but it
I
sounded
explained to you what
Ross
goulash
is-
was.
Don't forget, Ross is in his 30s now. What did he say? Goulash? Ghoulies?
What did you say, young man?
But you said I told you what a gulag was, and then you were like, "So what's a goulash then?" But you just admitted you know what a goulash is.
I didn't ask what a goulash was.
You did.
He didn't.
No, I didn't
You
ask what a
did.
goulash was. You fucking misheard.
Let's go to the tape.
No, I didn't ask what a goulash was. I do know what a goulash is.
Pretty sure he said.
Because I said about a meaty goulash before that even all conspired.
He did, yeah.
Listeners, we're not going to listen to this back, so if you could send your answers on a stamped address envelope to PO Box.
Or the comment section is fine.
Yeah, comment section's fine.
It's cheap.
Cheaper that way. But we prefer the postcard.
It's cheaper than chips.
That's true.
How else can we get them?
Yeah, so you're going for some sort of taser system. I think it's open to abuse though.
Or some sort of rounding up system, some sort of forced pogrom on... what?
What's pogrom?
Pogrom is a
Pog was a toy in the early
Disc,
90s.
and a ROM is a
read-only
early
memory.
software program.
You
Yeah.
used floppy disks as pogs.
No, a pogrom is a situation in which a specific group is hunted and rounded up
Right.
I'm
learning things today.
for
2 words.
internment, or basically I'm like sort of giving you fascism for dummies.
Yeah, gulags and pogroms.
Gulags and pogroms, yeah.
There you go. Can you not invent a device that you can put on the microphone that like disables them, like some kind of military sound device that you could put on it about the microphone? It goes
Like
makes a horrible noise, and they go.
like that thing in the first Iron Man movie.
Oh, what, where he puts it on his head and it paralyzes him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
That
thing
would
is
be
that
good.
you're in the same room as it's
Yeah,
transmitting.
but Jebediah Springfield? Obadiah Stane.
Jebediah Springfield.
Jebediah Springfield. Obadiah Stane. He's got the earplugs.
Yep. So then all cold callers would end up with the earplugs.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, you wouldn't probably even have to have it transmitted to you because I mean I've got a like an internet phone here.
Yeah.
A VoIP.
VoIP,
Yeah,
that's it.
a
God, it just completely went out of my head what it was then. A VoIP, that's what we've got in the office here. And I mean, that is basically a tiny computer.
Yeah. Can you play music to people down the phone?
Yes.
So you could have that set. So when you put them on hold, it goes.
Exactly.
Down
So you could just do that, yeah.
Or here's a bit of future tech
That,
for
I
you.
like that. I think this is my favourite idea
Punishment.
so far. Yeah.
Punishment is definitely the
Yes, well, this is a punishment.
way. Easier than a pogrom.
So inside the phone, we stick a small wormhole generator.
You can suck them in.
And we'll suck them to another dimension, mate, yeah.
Yeah. Take them
That
all-
dimension in Event Horizon where, have you ever watched Event Horizon?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I love Event Horizon, yeah.
The giant demon dicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place. Send them there. Hell. Or the dimension that represents hell in Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I like the disablement of them a little bit better than
Make them
that.
shit themselves.
Because I think there is a real danger that this
Send the brown note down the
That's it,
phone.
Send a brown note down.
I think
Yeah,
there's a real danger that the tiny wormhole generator is going to end up in exactly the same way as Event Horizon, which like if I like generate a wormhole and then all of a sudden fucking Sam Neill pops out of my phone, like
I'd be happy.
eyeless.
Would you
That
start going?
bit, do you know that eyeless bit? Because I watched Event Horizon when I was quite young.
I watched it for the first time weirdly about a month ago with Maddie.
Yeah, I watched that when I was quite young.
I've seen
And
it a few
eyeless
times.
Sam Neill haunted my nightmares for
Really?
a while. Yeah, I don't like eyeless things
It's been a long while since I've seen it. I can't remember what
because
that
one of
is.
my biggest fears is going.
Oh,
blind.
eyeless. Sorry, I thought you were saying eyeless for some reason. Eyelass.
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 No, eyeless. Yeah,
Yeah.
that scares
I thought
me.
you were saying ice cream.
On the lead up to Halloween.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
film. Very
On the lead
good
up to
film.
Halloween. But yes, sort of we're trying to interject more and more spooky things because it's coming close. It's coming up fast.
coming.
There is the risk of sucking innocent people into a black hole.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'd be terrified
Well, that's
about.
with any technology, there's a danger.
Oh yeah, we've got some creases to iron out. Like
Yeah.
we brought some hell creatures in, but we think we're gonna have that sorted. So, yeah, my phone is now trying to like save itself. Like it's become a It's got its own being in it, and it's trying to kill everyone that uses it.
The boss walks into the call center and everyone's pinned to the walls with their insides on the outside.
That's what I was expecting. That's what I was expecting. Yes.
Yeah.
I think we should go for the sound played down the phone.
Yeah. Sound played down the phone.
I think them shitting themselves would probably deter them from doing it again.
You could change it, couldn't you? Because you could change it. This is like depending on how sort of sadistic you are. You could change it to something like the poo, which is funnier.
Yeah.
The disabling one from Iron Man, which would kind of be a little bit more sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to pay for these packages.
You can pay for the poo package.
Are they like in-app purchases?
But the thing is, if it disrupts your business, because we get them here in the office.
Yeah.
We get them quite often in the office because our phone numbers are attached to lots of different pages, Facebook pages and stuff like that. So you could get like a business package that does the disabling one, or like has an extreme brown sound.
Yeah. And then blood from the ears.
Yeah.
And then Dom's most extreme black hole to another dimension full of evil creatures.
Yes. I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Solved.
Yeah. Is it naming time?
It is naming time.
We got a couple of names already, haven't we? We got the anus thing that
Jim
the anus strikes again.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
We've got
the brown sound.
We've got a delicious.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it was, Gateau.
Yeah, that's true.
Comparable to a delicious rich Gateau.
Yes. 2001, a rich Gateau of a film.
A rich Gateau Odyssey.
Yeah. Gateaus and gobshites.
Cold callers. Gateau of here.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's a classic.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Let's give it a couple more minutes. Let it percolate.
Oh, it's percolating. I do really fancy a Gateau. Just the one though.
Should we go to Casper's and get ourselves
no
ice cream?
What's
actually
Casper's?
yes, Casper's Canterbury, yes, fine.
What's Casper's?
It's a dessert bar.
Where the fuck's that?
Canterbury.
Where?
On the High Street. Opposite NatWest.
You know where the sweet shop used to be on the corner, just going up to the cathedral?
It's still there.
There. Basically.
Is it open late at night?
Yeah.
It's 7 to 11.
Wow.
Our pal Deanie works there.
Yeah.
Oh, James and Rob are going to have a row now.
Oh, there we go. Having a domestic.
Yeah.
About what? Oh, what, a genuine row?
He called him an anus while he was driving. He hasn't been listening to the podcast for a while because he's been driving.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we'll call it Jim the Anus Strikes Again.
You ain't going to beat cold callers Gateau of here.
Gateau of here.
Gateau of here. I'm not.
No.
That's true.
No, you ain't going to beat that.
No, I'm not.
I'm not even trying right now because there's no point.
Are
No.
we going for it?
Yeah.
Yes. Cold callers, Gateau.
Cold callers, colon.
So that is another problem, and it's kind of a problem and a half, really, because we solved James's problem at the beginning with his iPhone by just telling him to get into the 21st fucking century.
That's it. Welcome.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
We've solved a problem and a half this week, but we need you to submit your problems. People listening at home, watching at home, head to stickitpod.com and head to one of our channels, be it social media, Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, or just send us an email straight from the website or at flingit@stickitpod.com. Send us your first world problems. If there's anything in the podcast that we made a mistake about, send us a correction or a domplaint if it was Dom, because he is the most frequent mistakerer. He's got his own category.
Mistakerer.
Frequent mistakerer.
A whole new category called Dom's Mistakes.
They are many, varied, and I regret none of them.
And if you have your own solutions to any of our problems, then send them in as well. We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
We'll be back on Monday for the news at Sticks, and we'll be doing another live stream, I believe, on Monday. Probably on Monday.
Yeah.
If not Tuesday, keep your eyes peeled on the social media channels.
Yeah.
And if you did get a chance, give us a rating on whatever you're what your
App.
I
preferred
did look the other
podcast
day.
provider.
Someone did give us a nice rating in September.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is jolly splendid, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
Jolly splendid.
Yes. Whatever your preferred podcast client
one
is, give us a
star.
little rating.
Oh, was it?
No, it wasn't that. It's 5.
Yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
We're number 1.
Number 1 star. 1 star's good, right? 5 stars bad.
So I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That bodes well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for this week, I've been Dan.
I've been dumb.
I've been Ross. We didn't even talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars?